motor. Hello guys and welcome back. In this lecture we're going to create the star delta simulation. So let us get started. First, go to induction motor and choose this star delta type of motor. Now this motor gives you access to all the 6 terminals of a motor. So unlike the previous simulations where we were using only 3 terminals, here we're going to use the 6 terminals in order to create a star delta type connection. Now, let us get 3 contactors. And the contactors we're going to get are the ones that are triple. So we need normally open triple contact. Here it is. It's here a bit. Now rotate it by 90 degrees. This is my first one. I need 2 more of these, so this is my second one. Let me rotate it again. And here is my last one. Alright. What we are going to do is to create wiring that looks like the one we have created here. Now, there was a small mistake in the previous lecture. This is contactor 3 and this is contactor 2, because if we get to this circuit, the contactor 2 right here is the one responsible for the star. And the star is this one. So sorry for this small mistake. This is K2 and this is K3. Let us get back here. Now we need a 3-phase. So let's get a 3-phase. 3-phase supply. This is my RST. And let us connect now. Try to make these connections the best you can because stuff are gonna get messy. Now let's connect this directly to UVW. Nothing special about this connection. Great. Now let's create the star contactor. This is the star, right? We're just shorting the input of this contactor. Now, there is something very important that you need to understand. If you take a look at this motor terminals here, what are the coils we have? Now usually, and as we've seen, coils were U1, U2, V1, V2, and W1, W2. However, here we have UVWZXY. What is this? Let me show you. Usually you would go to the data sheet of your motor or the motor plate in order to see the names of the coils. It's very important to understand this concept. Coils names here are UX, VY, and WZ, okay? These are the coils of the motors. Now, in real life, let's see how does the triangle looks like for this circuit. Now take a look here. The way we're going to connect this in delta is as follows. As I said, we have UX, VY, and WZ as individual coils. We're connecting them exactly like that. We need to short U and Z and connect them to the phase R, WY connect them to the phase T, and X and V and connect them to the phase S. This is exactly what we are going to do now. Now let's connect the input of this contactor. This is straightforward. This is going to T. This is going to S. And this is going to R. Okay? Now, what we said is U and Z are going to be shorted together and connected to R, right? Let's do this. This is R, this is U, right? And it's going to go to Z in order to create the first interconnection. Is that correct? Z, U, and R, and as you can see, R connected like this to U and then to Z. So the connection is correct. Next is W, Y, and T. So this is W and Y. They are already connected together, and we need to connect them with T. W, Y, and T. Next, we're going to connect S. So all we need to do now is take the S, which is here, and connect it to V and X. Finally, we have the T, which should be connected to W and Y. Let's connect this. And here we go. This is exactly the same as the connection right here. Now for the star, it's much simpler because take a look. U need to go to R. It's already connected. V need to go to S, already connected. And W needs to go to T. W is going to T already. However, the X, Y, Z are shorted together as we did here. So in whatever order you connect them here, it doesn't matter because we are already shorting them right here. So let's just connect this first one to the first one. As I said, it doesn't matter because they are shorted together already. And here we go. Now the last one needs to go to... So the order doesn't really matter. Okay? This is it. Now we have mentioned that UX is a coil, VY is a coil, WZ is a coil. Why didn't they just put UX, VY, and WZ right here? Because this is the standard terminal of a motor. If you open any motor terminal, you're going to see the order exactly like that. You will see UVW and ZXY. So as I said, this is the standard motor terminal order. So they don't put the coils vertically like that. They just do it like this because it's easier, much easier to connect a star delta. Now let's create the control circuit for this. This is our control circuit. Now, by the way, if you want to go like super manual, you can get rid of this timer. What you can do is just get a button that has an NC and NO, and you can just toggle it between star and delta if you want to go like super manual and you don't want to use any timers. Anyways, let me add this T here. I need a phase. I mean, here it's saying 24 volt DC, but in this software, we cannot simulate a DC volt. So we will consider that this circuit is actually 110 volts or 220 volts. Let me get some buttons. I need a start button, a stop button, I need 3 contactors, 1, 2, and 3. I need a timer and on delay timer. Choose one. Give some space. Now we need some normally open and normally closed. Give some space. Now we need some 3 contactors and 3. I need a timer and on delay timer. Choose one. Give some space. Now we need some normally open and normally closed. This is a normally open contactor. and I'll put it under here in order to do the latching. And I also need another one for the star connection, yeah, and another one for the delta, yeah, and I need some normally closed now, normally closed contact. I need one, I need two here. One is for the timer in order to do the switching between star and delta, and I need another one right here in order to prevent star and delta from operating together if there is any problem in the timer circuit or in the button circuit. And I need another normally closed for also to protect from star delta being operating at the same time. Now I need a neutral, so here's my neutral. Let me rotate this 90. Now let's create this portion because it's the easiest. This is the timer coil. This is my second contactor and third contactor. Okay. Now I need to connect the phase to all of these, right? This is the wiring that we're going to do. You need to give phase to the first terminal of all of these NOs and for the start button. Okay. Now let me connect these two together, then do the latching circuit. And now let's connect these together, normally closed. This one, let's go here. Okay. Now let's do label. Labeling, this will be K1. Oh, we didn't wire this. Now here, this is K2 for the star. This is for the delta, K3. So here we need also, let's choose K1. And here, K3, because K3 is the one for the delta. And here K2. Next, let's name these. This is for K1. And here we have K1 as well. Here I have timer 1 NC. Oh, we didn't call this. Let's call it T1. So this is T1. And this is K3. Remember, these are protection NC contacts. Here we have T1, of course. And here I have K2. I'll repeat again. If this one is working, this will disconnect. If this one is working, this one will disconnect. That's why we have K2 and K3 in opposite sides like that. Let's put the timer. Let's say that the timer will wait for 10 seconds before switching from star to delta. So far, so good. Let's do some simulation right now. Start. If I press start button, I am timing. I'm gonna time 10 seconds, as you can see. After 10 seconds, we will go to delta, and we are in the delta connection. Press stop. Now, there is a bug in this software. If I press stop now, it will say that you have a problem. And actually, there is no problem. I mean, it's okay because K1 is disconnected. But the software didn't realize that K1 is disconnected. And since K1 is disconnected, means that there is no voltage coming to UVW, right? Because once we press stop, K1 delatched automatically. And here, ZXY is still getting a voltage, and that's fine because it's like you have your terminal like that, and you are connecting power to one side of the coil, and that's okay. It's like an open circuit, and it doesn't make any harm. So this is a bug in the software. But how can we get around this? Like, I don't want to give voltage for these 3 terminals. What should we do? It's very simple. Just remove this stop button from here. Okay? And instead, I'll show you where to connect it. Get a stop button again. Get it. Rotate it. I mean, we need to reconnect this. Let's just reconnect this the way it is. And the stop button now place has changed. Instead, I'm gonna connect it like this. Like the stop button is the first thing this circuit sees. Let's try now. Start. If I press stop, the motor stops. So this is like a safer connection. But the other connection is also totally fine. So, this is it for this lecture, guys. See you in the next tutorial.